July of 2021, I found out I was going to be a father. I was in the kitchen cooking dinner, and my wife yelled from the bathroom, "I'm pregnant!" It was a lot louder than that, but my heart kind of sank. I was 23 at the time, and I was interning in strength and conditioning, not making any money, working 60 hours a week, and I was halfway through my master's degree. While my wife, on the other hand, was now pregnant, taking summer classes, specifically physics, which was really hard, and she had one semester left in her degree to graduate. Now, at the time, we literally were taken aback. My wife was crying and she was worried, and I was just kind of I was worried, but I had kind of a calmness about it. I don't know what it was, but I was like, hey, this is it. We're gonna have to get through this, and there's no going back from here. So, whatever. And I ended up having to leave that. Well, I ended up leaving that internship in August, and I went back to my old job detailing cars. I was not making very much money, and then I ended up leaving that job, and I worked at the airport. I am so sorry. I'm still sick, if you already can't tell by my voice, but yeah. And I was a truck driver, so I was working in the cold outside, and I ended up getting, it was the best job I ever had, is in terms of money that I was making. And so due date was January. We were living pretty well, up to it. In the early pregnancy, it was not so good. Tired all the time, both of us, overworked. She was sick all the time, and I didn't know how to be there and comfort a pregnant woman who was sick all the time, and I didn't do a good job. And so first kind of takeaway is treat your woman even better when she's pregnant, even if it's irritating for you. And it sounds kind of bad to say irritating, but trust me, if you are in that situation or have been through it before, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It can be a lot. Yeah, and so I learned that I need to do that better, and yeah. So leading up to the birth, we were comfortable, and then my son was born on January 5th of 2022. So 11 days before, on Christmas Eve, I was handed the biggest check I've ever received in my life. I was told, hey, don't come back. You were hired as a temp. And it my world kind of sank from there. And I was so sad and just kind of depressed, to be honest. And then fast forward to our son's birth. We have our son, and it was amazing. Whatever. Literally, it's the most beautiful thing you'll ever experience. And you need to be in there when your woman gives birth. I don't care if blood and stuff freaks you out. You need to experience it. It's magical. And then when you hold your baby for the first time, you just have all these tears in your eyes, and it's so magical to see that for the first time ever. So small and helpless and innocent and so dependent on you. And it's a beautiful moment, but at the same time you realize it's game time. No more playing around. You've got to do what you got to do as a man to take care of your child, especially if you're worth a damn, in my opinion. And so I had to find a job, and then we ended up getting COVID in the hospital. So I was bedridden. It knocked me out my socks, man. Like literally, first time I ever got it, and it just destroyed me. And so, yeah, it was horrible. And so we ended up having to go stay with my mother-in-law, and I could barely spend any time with my son, even though he was just born. I couldn't get him sick, and I couldn't help my wife very much, and so it was that was weighing on me. My job was weighing on me. School was weighing on me. I was about to start this last bit, and then like 2 weeks later, my car got broken into, and it also got hit, and so it was hard. I was under like a lot of stress. I wasn't sleeping. My son he still fights his sleep. Listen, my man is 3 years old, and he still be fighting his sleep, just like how he was a newborn. He's just not a good sleeper. But anyway, he was screaming at night, every single night, for hours. It was a lot of like mental stress, fatigue, worrying about the future, like everything harsh that you can imagine. It was that. I had no security. Like, we were living out of the last bit of money that we had from my check. So it was scary, and it was like one of the lowest times of my life. Like I'm over here, and I just had a new baby, and you're supposed to be happy and cheerful, and I was like really depressed, if I'm being completely honest. And it was hard, but as a man, you have to pick your feet up and move forward. And so I did what I had to do. I got a job where I was working really early in the morning, so I was getting like 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night, and still going to class, still going to the gym, and I was still taking care of my son. And it was oh my god, I don't miss those days, man. Like, I don't. It was horrible. Like, just really, really difficult time for myself and my wife. And they try to say like prepare as much as you can, and that's great, but I'll just let you know now, you're never really ready for what it has to offer for having a child and the whole experience. And then anything can happen before or after. I mean, literally, like, my world turned upside down. I felt like the world was out to get me. And so, yeah, like, I mean, try to prepare, but be present in the moment. There's nothing that prepares you for the trench work, as I call it. Like, those late nights when you're extremely tired, you're grumpy, you're angry because you want to sleep. It's nothing. Like, maybe some sleep deprivation training, some Navy SEAL training, maybe that'll train you, but I don't know. And speaking of like the anger and grumpy, another takeaway from this video. Listen, with you and your lady at night after the baby wakes up, and you guys couldn't get to sleep on a good time, listen, what you guys say to each other doesn't count, because y'all can say, we was saying some crazy things to each other, hateful, mean, all that stuff, but it don't count, okay? I promise you. So yeah, I mean, listen, we had to dig deep, and we graduated. We both graduated on time. My wife finished her bachelor's. I finished my master's. I got a good job, a better job at the time. And, we just had to do it together. And that's what it's about. It's, digging deep with your partner and taking care of your little one. That's what's important. And it changed me a lot. It taught me a lot about resilience and determination, and I just already very driven, but it drove me even more. Like, I have a responsibility. I have a person depending on me, and I still have that same attitude today at 26 with 2 kids. Now my daughter's gonna be 1 next month, and yeah, you learn a lot as you go through. You have to learn so much about kindness, gentleness, even though you're the man, and just how to treat a child properly and care for them. I knew nothing about children and babies, and I had to learn. My wife had to teach me, and I read things. I read books. You just have to apply yourself, and it was a parenting is a journey. I still mess up a lot, and I'm a 3-year vet at this point, and I still make mistakes, and it's a constant learning experience, but it's such a beautiful and rewarding experience, and it gives you so much purpose, drive, and fulfillment in life. Like, I love my kids, and I don't know, I'm kind of speechless. I just love them so much that, like, I'll go through hardships for them, and I'll try to do anything for them, and I'll give things up for them. And yeah, that's the story of how I became a father. I mean, maybe there's some takeaways from this video, but that was my experience. I'm a young father. Some people think they should wait until they live their 20s. Whatever philosophy is yours. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But it's a journey, and I'm still navigating it. So yeah, if you have questions, let me know below. Anything about being a father, the experience, or whatever, just let me know. But see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.